Hello everyone, I'm doing a really quick video tutorial today in Photoshop on how to make your own pinnable quotes. So what I've got here is a document that I've already set up and I'll make a new one to show you how to do it from scratch. I've set up my document to be 750 pixels wide and high to be a square. That's how I like to do my graphics. And you can see what size your image is by going up to image size, and you can see here you can change it if you like. So what I've got in my document is just a bunch of layers of images, just stock images that I've collected over the years that I thought would be appropriate for these quotes to go over the top of. And for this one, I have my type layer just up the top. I thought it would be nice to put it in the sky. So embrace failure, missteps and roadblocks are inevitable, but are ultimately an opportunity to learn, pivot, and go after your goals with new perspective. By Jenny Fleece. So I'm creating these graphics today because I'm about to write a blog post on how to get really good at failing in business, because I seem to be really good at it. So I just thought I'd record the next one that I do so I can pop it up as a video tutorial for you. So the next quote I'm going to do is one by Oprah Winfrey, which is, do the one thing that you think you cannot do. Fail at it, try again, do better the second time. The only people who never tumble are those who never mount the high wire. This is your moment, own it. Pretty good. So out of my images that I've got here, I think I might use this one of just a little dreamcatcher in floating in the sky. Actually no, I might do the balloon. So what I'm going to do is open up a new document. So I'm going to go File, New. And I'm just going to call it Oprah quote, so I know what I'm doing. Width 750 pixels, height 750 pixels, resolution 72 because it's just for web, you don't need it any higher. RGB, again, it's just for web. If you were going to print, you would want to do CMYK. Background color, fine, don't really need to worry about the rest. So just go OK. I'm going to grab that balloon image. So because I'm on that layer, even though I can't see the image here, because I'm on that layer, that's what it's going to grab, because I don't have auto select ticked. So whatever you have selected in your layers palette is the one that it's going to pick up. So I can just click and drag that into that tab there, and I'm going to hold down Shift so it places it right smack bang in the middle. And this one is actually, I'll just go a bit smaller. This image I haven't actually cropped, so it's a bit taller. So I'm not sure. Let's have a play around with it once I put the text in. So jump over to your type tool, type in the quote. Actually, better idea, because I want it to fit in the square. Grab your type tool and click and drag a text area, and we can do it this way. So, do the one thing, start again. Good typing. Do the one thing you think you cannot do. Okay, so I've got my text in there. You can change, if you have your text selected or just clicked inside the box anyway, you can actually grab the text box area and change the size if you need to, or you can even grab it and turn it if you want to. Don't want to do that at the moment. So you can select your text, come over to the character palette, and you can change it. So I'm going to try and make mine quite consistent. So I'm making them all the same typeface. And what you can actually do, if you are starting from scratch, obviously you need to then, select the type from the character palette and the size and everything like that. But if you already have something done that you want to do similar, again, like I dragged over that balloon image, you can actually just drag across the type that you've already done if it's in a different document, just so I can see easily what settings I have on it. So embrace value, I've got it at 48 point and 40 and 10. So I'll just turn that off, change this to 48, 40 and 10. I think that was it. Yeah, 48, 40 and 10. So that's the same size and everything. I'm going to put the paragraph settings over to left aligned, and whoops, just change this one as well. 40, 10, and change that to and right align that. Okay, so with my balloon image, it's kind of a little bit stuck there. It's a little bit too close together. So what I'm going to do is actually move the image down, but then I'm getting this big white strip, obviously, because my image is not quite the right size. And I also actually want to move this over a little bit as well. So the problem I have now is that I have these white strips, and what I'm going to do is just turn the text off for a minute, and I'm going to fill these in. And because this image is a really nice, you know, sort of fairly well one blue color, it's going to be quite easy to do so because Photoshop is awesome. So I'm just going to make a little box selection here, make sure I'm on my layer 1, come up to Edit, Fill. Make sure it's on content aware, opacity 100, just go OK, and ta-da! You can see it's done a little bit of the little balloon there, which is fine. So I'll make another box up here, do the same thing, edit, fill, content aware, OK, and Command D to deselect. And you can see it's pretty good. If I zoom right in to 100%, you can't really see the lines anywhere. If there was anywhere, like maybe just a tiny bit here where it's obvious that you've done something in Photoshop, like this a tiny little bit here, you can just grab your clone stamp tool and put the opacity down nice and low, maybe about 30%-ish. Oops. And then make your brush size large. I'm using the square brackets to go up and down in size, or you can do it up here in the left-hand corner. Make the size bigger or smaller. Press down Alt and click somewhere, and then you can just go over the area that looks a little bit dodgy, and that will clone over from the point where you Alt clicked. But this is pretty good. I don't really need to worry about it. So turn my text back in, not that one, that one. And I might just change the color of the name as I did in the other one as well. So when you have your text selected, you can come over here to your color little area in your character palette, click on that, and that will actually bring up, then when you mouse over your image, you'll have the eyedropper tool, so you can then change the color of that to be anything from your image if you want to. So I think we're going to go with maybe green. Okay, so do the one thing that you think you cannot do. Fail at it, try again, do better the second time. The only people who never tumble are those who never mount the high wire. This is your moment, own it. And so that looks, you know, a completely different image and completely different feeling because of the image, but it's pretty consistent with the type and everything like that. So I'm happy with that. Then I just need to bring across my the Makers Collective text. So I can either click and drag that across as I did the other things, or you can just grab your type tool, click once. You don't need to do a box for this one. Type in whatever your website is that you want to make sure is on there. Oops. And change this back to Quicksand, book, white. Just check what size it is on this one. 30 with 10 spacing. So I'll go 30, whoops, 309. Here we go. And I'll bring that down. My smart guides are on, so it's going to tell me where the center is horizontally. So I'll put that there, and then I'll drop the opacity over in the layers palette over here, just so it's not quite so standing out. And now I'll put the balloon up a tiny bit. Oh, you can see I've got a little box happening there, so I'll just do the same thing as I did before. Select, edit, fill, whoops, not stroke, too keen. There we go. And we're done. So thanks for following along. I'll do another tutorial soon of how you can save these images for web, so to optimize them so they're not really big in file size, so you can upload them to your website, really easily upload them to Instagram and share across your social media. Because you have your blog name on there, that's a really good thing if people share it, because then hopefully it'll bring traffic back to your website or business or blog or wherever you want people to go. And also just, you know, if you post to Facebook as well, anyone sharing this, that's really good for your metrics on Facebook. So yeah, thank you. Let me know if this has helped you at all, and definitely show me any of the results that you get from following along with this tutorial in your own images. Thanks.